Wakenya wenzangu, leo ni siku ambayo tunasherehekea siku ya wafanyikazi, sio tu hapa Kenya lakini dunia mzima. Lakini kwa sababu ya yale ambaye yametukumba sisi wote, nchi zote za dunia, leo tuasherehekea kwa kitofauti. Lakini tunaamini Mwenyezi Mungu ya kwamba hii janga tutaishinda na tutaweza kurudi na tuweze kusherehekea pamoja kama Wakenya, tukiwa pamoja. Lakini kwa leo nichukue nafasi hii kuambia Wakenya wote pahali popote walipo, Happy Labor Day. Kwa hayo machache ningependa sasa kusoma yale ambayo niko naye. Today I am pleased to address you as we all come together, albeit in our respective homes, to mark Labor Day 2020. On this day, we honor and celebrate our hard-working and industrious people. The labor of your hands has powered our economy, defined our industries, and placed us on the continental map. Because of our workers, today we can proudly say that we are among the top 6 largest and most diversified economies in the continent, and for this we thank each and every one of you. At home, Kenya is a nation of diligent and hard-working people. From the woman in Marigiti who is up at 3 a.m. to the farmer who is up well before sunrise, Kenya is a nation of hard-working people. But that is not all. Against all odds, our health workers are giving their all, saving those affected by COVID-19, many others working against the floods and the heavy rains, but our farmers continue to toil their land and to feed their families. Across our region, our many truck drivers are working through bad weather to transport goods to our neighboring countries. And we also have those who with selfless abandon are standing guard to protect us. And these are our police, our security officers, our administration officers, our watchmen, all who are playing their part to keep the country healthy and to keep the country safe. Indeed, I want to thank all of you for making us a nation that embraces hard work, and this as a mark of dignity and resilience. Fellow Kenyans, turning now to our current circumstances. Today, as I said earlier, we are celebrating this Labor Day in the extraordinary settings because of coronavirus. Businesses have closed down abruptly across the world. Working hours have reduced, and opportunities have been lost. Sadly, this has also resulted in the loss of jobs for our people, and I feel the loss that many in our country are going through today. The hardest hit in our economy are workers, many of whom are in the informal sector, the self-employed, the casual laborers. Majority of these are young people who may not have savings to cushion them from this pandemic. So in sum, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot relax in our efforts to conquer this invisible enemy. And we need, as we go forward, to put our economy on a strong growth path. Because if we don't, we could lose upwards of 500,000 jobs over the next 6 months. We must do whatever it takes to minimize, if not fully contain, such loss in jobs. Fellow Kenyans, that is why my administration has rolled out some fiscal and monetary policy measures to cushion this situation. I have already announced the accelerated disbursement to the elderly and vulnerable coming from the Social Safety Net Fund. I have also announced the direct weekly cash stipends to thousands of vulnerable households in informal settlements and in fragile rural areas. And last week, I announced the Kazi Mitaani initiative, which will give unemployed young people the opportunity to earn a daily wage as they build our motherland. I want us also to work together to flatten and crush the curve of joblessness. And this, fellow Kenyans, we will do and we shall do together. Over the coming weeks, I will give some practical directions on post-COVID-19 pandemic social economic recovery strategies. And on this, we shall work together with all the leaders of our land, because this is a moment that requires each and every one of us. I want to assure the workers that we have their back, and I will do everything to protect them from the economic downturn, but also from political opportunists who feed their ambitions on the misery of workers. Fellow Kenyans, I do believe tutakomesha corona na tutatoka kwa hii janga na uchumi wetu utarudi. We shall build a greater shared prosperity that will deliver more jobs and better lives for all our people. But today I also have a request to make, not just to the labor movement, but to all Kenyans. Because I want to partner with you. I want you to partner with us as government on two principal issues. One, sometimes it takes a great crisis to create great opportunities. Our people become great because the threat of crisis did not suppress their spirits. Instead, they saw it as an opportunity to transform their economies and their livelihood. The moment we are in as workers, as a people, is a moment of crisis. We can see it as a moment of danger, or we can see it as a moment of opportunity. And I urge us all to see this as a moment that we can use to better ourselves. And I say so because an owner of an industry is nothing without those who make the industry work. The industry works because of the worker. Without the worker, that investment is nothing but dead capital. If the worker becomes the industry, economic growth is assured. But this is the opportunity I believe that the coronavirus is placing before us. An opportunity for the investor, for the worker to be one and to work together for the common good. It is inviting us all to think differently and to change our lot if we focus on the opportunity rather than the danger. If we are 47 million strong, the labor movement in Kenya must also claim their space, not as trend followers, but as trend setters. And they must use this moment, as they did in our history before, to organize themselves for the renewal of our economy. They must declare that the worker will not be organized by politicians, but by the needs that drive them. They must see the opportunity and not the danger of the moment. And my second request, if there was ever a time in our nation's history that we need to come together as Kenyans, it is now. To flatten the curve of coronavirus, to flatten the curve of joblessness in our society, we must embrace our Kenyan imperfections. And we must do so by embracing that which is Kenyan. We must buy Kenya and build Kenya. And that is how we shall survive. To rescue our tourism sector, we must commit to visit our parks and our hotels once the country opens up again. We must visit each other across the country. We must commune with our people and find ourselves in this undertaking. Let us spend our money amongst our own people so that they in turn can get to keep their jobs and feed their families. To save jobs in our manufacturing sector, we must shed some of our long-held prejudices against Kenyan-made products and embrace them. Let us buy what we make, whether it is cooking oil, soap, sufurias, spoons, bicycles, furniture, or locally assembled cars. If we buy Kenya, we will build Kenya, and Kenya is each and every one of us. This must form the baseline of our survival strategy. Let us support our textile sector. We know that a face mask from Kitui is just as good as or better than any from any other part of the world. If we can buy these face masks for our protection, why not other items of clothing? But there is also another item I want to mention here. I want to encourage our employers who insist on formal wear by their employees to ensure that those dress codes also include our own African attire. Let us be proud to wear our Made in Kenya shirts and dresses. This will extend employment opportunities for thousands and encourage more of our farmers to plant cotton and to invest in inputs from other fabrics like wool, which can easily be produced locally. To those in our transport sector, the measures you have taken so far on hygiene and discipline should not be forgotten when Corona is behind us. Let your buses and matatus be clean. Treat your passengers with the respect that they deserve. Charge them fairly and above all, keep them safe. To our media houses and to various entertainment spots, I also believe it is time for us to become Kenyan. To survive this pandemic, we must look inwards. We must protect what makes Kenya Kenyan. As our media dominates our living rooms and our mobile phones, I want to appeal to all of you to think only of our country. Play our Kenyan history, Kenyan music, Kenyan soap operas, Kenyan everything. If media plays Kenyan content, Kenyan content will build media after Corona. We have a particular and a peculiar opportunity to promote our filmmakers and artists during this time of confinement. Let us use it to create a Kenyan culture of nationalism. Lastly, let me recognize the steady leadership of the labor movement under our friend Comrade Francis Atwoli. You have done well in steering the relationship of workers, unions, and government. And you have been instrumental in defining who is the true friend of the worker. Mine is to assure you and your colleagues across the country that this government is owned by workers. Without the workers, government has no shareholders. And that is why today I am happy to be a worker amongst you. I want to wish you all a happy Labor Day. May God continue to bless all of you abundantly and provide you and our family with protection. Happy Labor Day. Stay safe. Stay home. God bless you all, and God bless Kenya. Ningependa tu kuongezea machache. Na hayo machache ni kuendelea kuuliza Wakenya tujichunge. Tujichunge wakati huu mgumu. Na najua mimi ya kwamba kuna wengi ambao wanapitia mashida kwa sababu ya huu ugonjwa. Ugonjwa ambaye hatukujiletea, umetoka nje, lakini uko nasi. Na lazima kama Wakenya tushirikiane, tuungane pamoja, ndio tuhakikishe ya kwamba tumepambana na tumeshinda vita kati ya huu ugonjwa. Huu ugonjwa hautashindwa na serikali peke yake. Na sita kurudia. Huu ugonjwa utashindwa tukishirikiana na tukiungana pamoja kama Wakenya. Hiyo ndio njia pekee. Ndio tuweze kurudisha uchumi wetu. Na kwa huu muda ambao tuko na huu ugonjwa, kama serikali tutaendelea kuona ni kwa njia gani tutasaidiana na Wakenya wenzetu, haswa wale ambao wamelemewa kabisa, na tuone ni kwa njia gani tutaweza kuwasaidia katika wakati huu mgumu ambao tuko nao. Na ndipo juzi, kati ya mikakati ambayo nilitangaza, nilikisema ya kwamba ndio tuweze kusaidia haswa wafanyikazi wale wa chini kabisa. Tukaongeza idadi ya watu ambao hawatakuwa wakilipa kodi. Nimesikia ndugu Atwoli akisema tuongeze hata zaidi. Tutajaribu kulingana na uwezo, lakini pia taifa haiwezi kujengwa bila kodi. Lakini tutaendelea kuona ni kwa njia gani tutaweza kusaidia. Tumejaribu sana ndio tuweze kupunguza bei ya chakula na mengine. Tukatangaza ya kwamba tumeshukisha VAT kutoka 16% mpaka 14%, 14%. Hiyo yote tumefanya ndio tuweze kuona ni kwa njia gani tutaweza kusaidia wananchi, haswa wale wadogo wa chini. Na tutaendelea. Hii program ambayo tumeanza ya kazi mitaani, tunataka vijana wetu waweze kuwa wanapata riziki yao wakitusaidia kusafisha mitaa yetu, kutengeneza barabara zetu na mambo mengine kama haya. Na mimi ningependa sana sana kwanza kushukuru bunge letu la Kenya kwa vile tumesaidiana pamoja na kupitisha sheria mbalimbali ambazo zimetuwezesha kufanya yale ambaye tayari tumefanya. Na tutaendelea kufanya na tutaendelea kushirikiana. Kwa sababu vile nilisema hapo awali, kushinda huu ugonjwa, kurudisha uchumi wetu, hautachukua Uhuru peke yake ama serikali peke yake, itachukua sisi wote. Na hivi karibuni napanga kualika viongozi wa vyama mbalimbali, viongozi wa wafanyikazi, viongozi wa employers, na wote washikadau wote, tuweze tukae pamoja na tuseme tukishamaliza kupambana na huu ugonjwa, hii uchumi yetu tutafufua namna gani, na ndio maisha ya mwananchi wa kawaida iweze kurudi pahali ambapo ilikuwa. Na hiyo itatuhitaji sisi wote. Na ndipo naendelea pia kusema tusitumie hii vita ya corona kama ni wakati wetu wa kupiga siasa duni. Unasikia huko mwingine akisema pesa ya corona haitumiwi vizuri, ingetakiwa itumiwe namna hii. Jameni, tusicheze na maisha ya Wakenya. Pesa yote ambaye imetumika kupambana na hii jangwa, wakati ukifika, it shall be audited in broad daylight. Kila shilingi, kila dururu ambaye imetumika, Wakenya waweze kujua hii pesa ilitumika kwa njia gani na kusaidia nani. We shall make it public. Hakuna kitu ambaye itafichwa. Lakini hii sio wakati ya kugombanisha. Hii ni wakati ya kuokoa maisha. Jameni, tafadhali viongozi, if you have mercy on your people, this is the time for you to be supportive of the efforts that we are all undertaking to ensure that we defeat this virus. Niseme pia ya kwamba lazima tuangalie mbele. Tujue ya kwamba corona haitakuwa na sisi maisha, bado tunataka soko zetu zirudi. Jameni, nilicheka juzi nikaona wengine wako hapo wakisema Uhuru afanya makosa, atuma maua kwa wazungu. Jameni, unajua hayo maua ambaye tumetuma, corona itaisha. Hayo maua yaandika wafanyikazi maelfu na maelfu na maelfu ya Wakenya. And they say watu wanakumbukwa wakati wa shida. Tukiwa tumewatuma huko na wanaona hii imetoka Kenya, wakati soko itafunguliwa, mtu akienda kununua maua, kitu cha kwanza atafikiria ule alinikumbuka wakati ya shida, huko ndio mimi naenda kununua maua yangu. Think before you start talking nonsense on this social media of yours. We must protect our economy. We must look into the future. We must look at what we are going to do when we survive. This is not the time for us to be petty. This is not the time for us as Kenyans to be cheap. This is the time for us to come together. This is the time for us to work together. This is the time to plan the future of this great land. Kwa hayo machache na mengi, mimi nasema Mungu awabariki, Mungu awalinde, tukae manyumbani. Najua ni ngumu kwa wengi, lakini hii ni nafasi yetu ya kujuana tena na mabibi zetu na watoto wetu tukiwa manyumbani. Tusione, let us always not look at the negative. Kuna opportunity ya kujuana sasa tena, na ni mema mengi inaweza kutoka kujuana zaidi. Kwa hivyo mimi nasema Mungu awabariki wa Kenya, abariki nchi yetu na aendelee kutulinda wakati huu mgumu. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais.